Bonjour les amis! Welcome to a new virtual adventure with France with Véro. I am in the Loire Valley on a staycation, and let's put it this way. If you are going to have a staycation, there are worse areas you could find in France. I left the Touraine region where I'm based in the city of Tours, drove about an hour and found myself in the Maine-et-Loire or the Anjou region. In fact, I am in a lovely village that is exactly at the intersection of the Touraine and the Anjou, but we are still, of course, in the Loire Valley. I am in the beautiful village of Montsoreau, allegedly one of the most beautiful villages in France. You can see the Chateau behind me. This is a 15th century chateau. A lot has happened here, and my plan today is to show you around. It's a lovely day, and I came to town because there is a big event the second Sunday of each month here, a brocante, a big flea market. So I wanted to capture some of that and also tell you a little bit more about Montsoreau and why you should be coming here. So I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to take you places. Small town life in France, but an incredibly busy scene on this glorious Sunday morning in August. Lots of cars, some beautiful cars, lots of people, and everybody's here in Montsoreau for the renowned flea market that happens on the second Sunday of each month throughout the year. Of course, serious buyers come here to this Marché aux Puces, aux brocantes, early in the morning, and by 11 or noon you have hundreds of people. You can see this. It's nuts. This is almost lunchtime. I'm not even sure people can get close to the stalls. There are a few things to spot. I'm going to try and give you a good view of this, and then I'll move on. There's a lot more to see in Montsoreau, of course. But this is a flea market that has an incredible scenery in the background, the Loire River. And look how far it goes, all these stands, all these vendors, all these visitors as well. And it just keeps going. Nice cars. There's a little market across the street as well. It's Sunday. A few places where you can eat. Best to reserve if you come here on a Sunday on Brocante Day. I have documented it already when I was here in the winter, and it was still busy in the winter actually. Just sharing some sights here. Some scenes from the brocante, and you can see the flow of visitors. It just keeps going. Magnificent trees right above. So this is a nice section here because it's shaded. Lots of pooches as well. Feeling a little sorry for them. There's a little bit of everything. But like I said, if you're a serious buyer, come early. I get distracted by the Loire easily, and this is one of these places. You could easily sit on this little wall here and look at the Loire for a while between those two trees. And it would be lovely, wouldn't it? Or you could go down there and fight your way through the crowd, which is pretty thick in the summer. Lots of tourists in town, French and foreign tourists. And like so many towns in the Loire Valley, Montsoreau is built alongside the river with a road following the Loire to cross the town. But it also comes with incredible views, and I'm going to try and show some of this to you in this video. The mighty Loire. very peaceful town above the Loire. It's Sunday and everybody's at the flea market. The Merci or city hall is on the left. You see the French and European flags. It's a little steep. If you don't like climbs, Montsoreau is not for you. The higher you climb, the better the views. But you can see that a lot of the facades have this distinctive appearance that so much of the Loire Valley has with the locally quarried limestone known as the tuffeau stone. This is what they used to build the magnificent chateaus during the Renaissance. And on the to build houses as well. La place des diligences, the sign says right here. La place des diligences. So this is where coaches coming from other towns stopped, pulled by horses. So like I said, the higher you climb, the more you'll be rewarded in Montsoreau with incredible sights. The problem is climbing, isn't it? So I think I'm going to pick one. Impasse du Coteau, le Coteau, the hill. It's very common around here to see villages and towns built alongside those hills that protect them from the weather, and they face the Loire on the other side. This is why in the Saumur area, we're very close to Saumur here, there are a lot of troglodytic homes or buildings that have been used for different purposes over the centuries. People used to live in them, and today you can still find houses that have cellars to store wine, or houses even built inside the hills, the coteaux, because the limestone is so soft there. Le chemin du four banal, four, oven. So back in the day, there was an oven around here, which the Lord ran and maintained, but locals could use it, but they had to pay for it. This is an incredible view of the famous Chateau de Montsoreau. Somebody has a nice potager down there. And here is le château. The higher you climb, the more you will be rewarded. The Loire. So I'll keep climbing. You see how some homes look like they have been added to the cliff, literally. Blue skies, olive tree, tufa stone, slate rooftops, gray slate rooftops. Here's the street leading up to where we are now, and once again, can never get enough of this chateau. So scenic, right by the Loire River, which is quite unusual. Here's another example of how people lived centuries ago in these parts. This looks like a regular home, but there's a lot more here than meets the eye. We see a chimney. Why would it be in the back like this, right inside the cliff? Well, this is a sign from a very interesting walk you can take, a self-guided walk that takes you all around Montsoreau. You can see that our house is right here with two small gardens on each side, but then it continues. So what we don't see is what's in the cliff. There was another building here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in the back of those buildings, also in the cliff, some small cellars. They call them réserves, they call them caveaux. So you can see that a lot is happening behind, right inside that cliff that we cannot see here. And this went on through the Middle Ages, of course, and later as well, because Les caves de la Catiche, the cellars of the Catiche. There's a plaque here that commemorates 1789 to 1989. So this is a very ancient way to live, which some people, to some extent, have maintained to this day. And here we are. Let's enter, shall we? Look at the sculptures on this tower. You just know there are stairs in there. Okay, I won't lie. As empty chateaus go in the Loire Valley, this one is particularly empty. They use it as a place to exhibit art, themed exhibitions. But if I may say something, for those of us interested in architecture and history, we, as the French say, nous restons un peu sur notre faim. It would have been nice to know what we were looking at. So many gorgeous fireplaces, windows overlooking the town or the Loire, and yet no explanations. So I'll continue and see if I can find something else to show you. Les combles, the attic, with an impressive wood frame up there. One might assume it's an original dating back to the Renaissance, the 16th century, but I'm not really sure because I don't see any signs telling me about it. All right, there's got to be a viewpoint. There's got to be a place where we can look outside and take in this incredible scenery around us. More of those frames, old stones, accès aux terrasses, to the terrace. Okay, then let's see. There's gotta be a view. Ah, we might be getting somewhere. Here's an incredible view, in fact, of the Chateau, the hill where I was stepping earlier, and you can see all the old dwellings and openings in the limestone in the cliff there. So I am definitely in the chateau. So this is, as we say, un cul-de-sac, a dead end. And this is where I'm standing now. So there is a walk along those walls, and I'm going to try and take it. I want to get to the Loire River side, of course. It's impressive. Chimneys. It's lunchtime. That place is full over there. Ah, now we're talking. All right. Now we are talking, my friends. All right. Let's take a peek first at this facade and These are spectacular. The Loire and all the boats on the Loire. A lot of the prosperity of the Anjou, where we are, and the Touraine region came from the Loire River for centuries and centuries, until the train and roads also put an end to it. But here is a very special place because you are looking at the Loire River, and a little bit farther up it connects with one of its tributaries known as the Vienne. The Vienne would go on the right-hand side, and it takes you to a lovely town named Chinon. Look at all the cars parked because of the brocante, which should be wrapping up pretty soon. So we are exactly, they show you, at the intersection of the Touraine, where I live, and the Anjou. South is in this direction. And of course the Loire never disappoints. Okay, so I guess this was worth the admission ticket, which is not cheap, 11 euros, if you don't have a discount, to see an empty chateau where a lot of stories happened. A doomed love story too. The lady of the house in the 16th century fell in love with the governor of the Anjou, the dashing Puces d'Amboise, and let's just say the story didn't end well. This is a famous story as well in French literature. La Dame de Montsoreau, the Lady of Montsoreau. All right. And voila, my friends, the pièce de résistance. After enjoying a wonderful day in Montsoreau, there's going to be a cruise on this magnificent boat called l'Amarante. And the boat, it's a 1-hour cruise, and the boat is going to take us down the Loire, all the way to the next village, which you will hear about soon, called Saint-Martin, and the exact spot where the Loire that goes on this side meets one of its tributaries, the Vienne. So I'm really looking forward to this cruise, and I'm going to share with you what we see on the way. So come aboard, friends. Join us in Montsoreau on l'Amarante. Coucou! Well, what a day we've had. What did you think? Did you enjoy visiting Montsoreau? Do you think you'd like to come here one day? I certainly hope so. As for me, I'm gonna head home soon. If you've enjoyed this new virtual adventure, tips are gratefully accepted. My virtual tip jar is on PayPal. You could also support this project of mine that was born in 2020 and join our fun community of well-traveled Francophiles on Patreon, patreon.com/friendswithvéro. For now, time to say à bientôt.